to the PassPorter Moms podcast.
Hello, thank you for joining us for episode 72 of the PassPorter Moms podcast, Disney and Beyond. I'm Jennifer Marks, PassPorter author and PassPorter mom.
And I'm Sara Varney, PassPorter news editor and PassPorter mom.
The PassPorter Moms podcast is a weekly podcast for all travelers with or without kids. We serve up a healthy serving of tips and advice for vacations to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and destinations in the U.S. and abroad. So things are going really great with our new iPad contest.
Yay!
Now, last podcast I just sort of hinted at it and I didn't say what it was, but so this time around it's sort of a mystery photo contest, and that's sort of it is. It's a mystery photo contest. You have to find the photos, and sometimes I actually put like the photo up, but it's obscured by the PassPorter logo, and sometimes it's just a hint that leads you to the photo. But we're getting lots of really good feedback on it. People seem to really be enjoying it, and really good news for me is that our web server is humming along and it's not slowing down like it did in our last contest. But that towards the end, I mean, my goodness, it was horrible.
Yeah, every time you would release a hint, the message boards would call to it.
I know. And I haven't seen any slowdowns, so yay, that's really exciting. If you're not familiar with what our iPad photo contest is, it's really pretty simple. You find the mystery photos, you collect contest entry tickets, and you get chances to win the iPad 2 that we're giving away when the contest ends on August 1st, 2011. The contest details are at passporter.com/iPad-contest. And for our podcast subscribers, I'm going to put up a bonus hint to a mystery photo, but only the subscribers are going to see the hint. So just like last time, I'm so sneaky. So to subscribe to to subscribe to the podcast, you go to passporter.com/desk, click on my podcast, and follow the directions to subscribe to the podcast. Note that this is different from any subscribing that you do through iTunes. That's a totally different thing. So, and this is also the same place at the concierge desk where you'll find the hints to the bonus mystery photos. They will just sort of show up on your screen once you're subscribed. So,
yes. And this is also where you can add celebrations and things like that. I get a lot of emails sending me your celebrations. You don't send them to me.
That's right.
You subscribe to the podcast, and then you can send us your celebrations.
That's right, because when you do it that way, they go right into our little database, and they show up on our screen, and they're right there for us, and we don't, forget to put them in or
if you're
forget
counting on me to put them in for you, you're going to be disappointed.
So, yes, please do that. I know I keep saying this, but I love hearing about when people go on trips or have things to celebrate. It's a lot of fun. That's my news. Although I can report that I am continuing to make good progress on the cruise guide. I'm just working my butt off, and I think that our chapter 6, which is the ports of call, it's a very scary chapter because it's huge.
Oh my God, it's huge.
It is. I mean, when I'm almost done with the chapter, and it's not just me, Dave is working on it too, but it's like I just looked at the page count for the last page of that, and it's over 400. That's just in chapter 6.
That's one chapter, people. Yeah.
So
I started reviewing the first half of it, and I downloaded the file and went, "Holy smolies! What is?"
I know the first part of that chapter is 10 megabytes alone. But there's tons of great info in there, so
there is a lot of good info. Yeah,
so
it's worth the wait, people. I know everybody's been so patient and very eager to see it.
Yes, I really appreciate it. It's a really big project. There's just so much going on. But yes, we're getting so close. So that's the news on my end.
Did you have any fun over your long weekend?
I did gardening. I love gardening. So I did like hobby stuff, sewing and stuff. Alexander and I, well, besides, worrying about tornadoes. There was a tornado warning, and the sirens went off, and I freaked out. Normally I don't. I'm normally really calm and cool in situations like that.
But given recent circumstances.
That's right. And so the sirens went off, and Alexander's at a birthday party. I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah, that would make me crazy if I weren't.
I know, and I couldn't go get him. It wasn't safe. So, as it turned out, there were no tornadoes here. There were a couple, but no one was hurt. And in the Michigan area, and the storm actually there's like a little break in the storm as went overhead, and we got almost nothing. So we were very lucky as far
Thank
as
God.
the storm
Thank
goes.
God.
That's right. Yes. I actually had a really nice, relaxing weekend.
Oh, good.
But what about you?
I had a lovely weekend. Relaxing would not be the definition. We were on the go. I mean, I can't even. We did so much stuff around the house. It was.
Well,
yeah,
productive. Then you had a productive.
Very productive. Very productive. It was great. We got so much done and just did so much, and had some fun too. You know, we broke out the fire pit for the first time of the summer and did s'mores, which is always fun. And our neighbors broke out their sprinklers, and so it feels like the beginning of summer for sure around here.
And isn't that just a great feeling?
Yes, and I had my parents here. They came up with. Ryan had a sleepover with them this weekend, and then they brought him home, and then they went right to work. And in fact, my father is downstairs right now painting.
Well, that was very nice of them too.
I'm not entirely sure how he got roped into that, but he showed up this morning, and he's downstairs scraping and sanding my front porch.
Well, way to go, Sarah's dad. That's pretty cool.
Dad.
That's awesome. Today is a really beautiful day, and it feels like the first day of summer. And it's a good feeling. That was a hard winter.
That was a rough one.
Yes, it was.
But it's over. Thank goodness.
That's right. That's right. So how are things going in the world of Disney this week?
World of Disney. So, it's sort of a little bit of, these short weeks are always slightly slow news weeks. So I was, literally up until the last second, like, come on, people, give me something, But the good news is that, and I've been so excited about this, the Phineas and Ferb play and greet opened. Yay!
Ooh, yay!
It opened at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it is an interactive sort of experience. So while you're waiting in line, there is a director, Cletus Fillmore, and he is recruiting quote-unquote actors because Phineas and Ferb are making a movie about, what they did today. So there's a lot of guest interaction, and then, sort of in between takes, so to speak. Phineas and Ferb are available to take pictures and sign autographs, and so
that's cool. I
really love what Disney is doing with making the character meets more interactive and giving you stuff to do while you're waiting.
Right, other than just, there's a character, let's line up.
Yeah.
In the hot sun, yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think this is very cool. So it's now open. Yay.
Right.
Contrary to that, Primeval Whirl, which is an attraction in Dinoland USA in Disney's Hollywood Studios, has been undergoing a refurbishment, and that's now been pushed back. So that was supposed to open, I think, again in July or August, and now it's not opening until September 14th, 2011. That happens. Back a number of times over the past few months.
Yeah, and just for anyone listening, that was in Animal Kingdom, not Hollywood Studios.
Oh, I'm sorry, Animal Kingdom.
It's okay. I just thought I'd correct it so they come and correct us later.
Kingdom, yes. My brain was still at Hollywood Studios because I'm so excited about Phineas and Ferb. And then if you make your dining reservations online, if you use disneyworld.com/dining to make your dining reservations, the system is on to you, and it will no longer let you make duplicate reservations.
Well,
so if you've already got a reservation for 6 o'clock at Magic Kingdom, it is not going to let you make one at 6 o'clock for Hollywood Studios. Mm-hmm. Now, this can become problematic because there are times when legitimately half of your party wants to go to one restaurant and half of your party wants to go to another. The online system will not let you do this.
Oh, that's too bad, isn't it?
You have to call it in.
You have to call it in.
Yeah, 407-WDW-DINE is the number that you call. But,
okay.
So they're getting tricky.
Well, I know that some people will like to make up backup plans, and some people actually have a lot of backup plans. So, and that could be a problem because all those tables are now reserved. They're not released to other people to book. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the system will not let you complete the reservation if it knows that you have a conflicting reservation. Right. So, and it doesn't even have to be like the exact same time. It knows if you have something that's even close.
Right. So like 5:30, starting at 5:30, but so you can't do 6 because
you can't
it's
make
not going to be done in half an hour.
Yeah. They're on to you. So, but like I said, there are legitimate times where one room may have multiple reservations, and so in that case, you just call it in. That's all. Yep. And that's pretty much the news this week. In articles, we have 2 Disney articles this week, one Disneyland and one Disney Cruise Line. Sarah Mudd, who is a forum guide on the PassPorter message boards, as well as being a travel planner for Ears to You Travel, has an article about her favorite Disney destination, which is Disneyland. And it's going to be a series. This is just part 1.
Awesome.
about planning a trip there and sort of how much more there is than people think there is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Terry Sellers, who's also one of our forum guides, has one of the coolest jobs in the world. She works for the Army Corps of Engineers. She's a marine biologist, and she actually, on a recent work trip, got to visit Port Canaveral and check out the Disney Dream. So
that is so awesome.
Article about that. I know, right? Yeah. Well, people tell us we have good jobs. She rescues sea turtles, and she's got an even better job than we do. So that's the news this week. PassPorter News is the weekly e-newsletter companion to the PassPorter series of guidebooks. I'm still on the hunt for articles. I've gotten a lot of emails with topic ideas. At this point, I'm primarily looking for Disney related, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a Disney World or a Disney Cruise Line, but somehow it should tie to Disney. So news at passporter.com if you're looking for those guidelines.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. And now I am pleased to welcome this week's special guest, Jason Schulke. Jason is the Director of Business for Orlando Balloon Rides, the largest passenger ride operator on the eastern seaboard. Orlando Balloon Rides provides hot air balloon rides daily in the Orlando area. And Sarah and I had the privilege of riding in a balloon back in March when we were there for the Disney Social Media Mom Celebration, and it was awesome. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the podcast.
How are we doing today, guys?
I'm great.
We're awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We did have a good flight that day you guys were out, didn't we?
Oh, we had a great flight. It was amazing.
It was. The weather was perfect. There was a sunrise, and it was like, it was amazing. It's hard to put into words.
If you guys had to say, what was one of the highlights during the flight?
Well, it was my first balloon ride, so there were so many things to experience, but I would say probably seeing that sunrise, and it was so quiet, and I could hear birds like below me chirping. I would say it was just like this, like sort of like connection with nature that I wasn't expecting.
For me, it was there was this moment where we were, I don't even want to know how high, but like higher than the birds and higher than most of the other balloons, and you just looked out, and the view, with the sunrise and the other balloons, and I mean, it was really just truly stunning and so peaceful. It's so quiet up there.
Oh, I know.
It really is. So many people, when they come out to fly with us, will often hear them say that, that it's so still, it's so quiet, with the exception of the burners that, ignite from time to time. You can be up there at 3,000 or 4,000 feet, and it's more quiet than standing out on your patio on a sunny afternoon because you have wind rushing through trees. We're up there. There's absolutely no sound. Like you said, you can be up at a couple thousand feet and literally hear the birds chirping on the ground. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And also, one of the other things I really liked about our balloon ride was we were kind of involved. We were involved. We stood there, we watched, people got to help. When it wasn't this nice sanitary safe thing where you just pop in and up you go and then down you go and that's it. Like a ride at Disney. It wasn't anything like that. It was really, really hands-on, and when we landed, we had to brace ourselves. Not that anything bad happened, but I mean, it felt. I mean,
I love your choice of wording on brace yourself.
Well, it's true.
Exactly what Ian told us to do.
Yeah. and then afterwards, helping to fold up the balloon itself and being involved in doing stuff, and then after that, there was this sort of ceremony. It was. What was that called?
What we do is every day that we fly, it's very common that we'll have people out celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, newlyweds, and then we also, so we take part, we do that with the champagne and non-alcoholic beverages there, but we do what's called the Irish Balloonist Prayer.
That's it. That was awesome.
The Irish Balloonist Prayer, that is something that goes back for a little over 200 years after balloon flight that the Irish Balloonist Prayer is gone through. Another good point that you made, though, is so many people come out, just like yourselves, when you came out to fly with us, and they kind of have an idea of what to expect. It's going to be, some great views, maybe see some wildlife, a new adventure, but they really are shocked that there's so much more than just the flight. And so often when people come out, they see the setup and the inflation, and it really is fascinating. And then that people get to, they're allowed to be involved with the setup and inflation. It's so much more than just an experience. It's almost like you're kind of, a balloonist for the day.
Right. It's like an adventure. It was really quite amazing.
It is. When we came up with our name, Orlando Balloon Rides, obviously we do balloon rides, but we really struggled if we should call it excursion or adventure or experience or whatever, because it's all those things encompassed into one adventure.
That's right. It really is. It's definitely not just a ride. Up you go and down you go and that's it. Yeah. So, how long was our balloon ride, or how long does a balloon ride usually last?
Traditionally, the actual flight itself will last for approximately an hour to an hour and a half. The experience, again, from start to finish, from meeting till after we're done with our complimentary breakfast, traditionally will last about 3 to 4 hours.
Right, that seems about right.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Our prices retail at $175 per adult, but we've got some great added value with that. We do, with each paying adult, we offer a free child ride. So children fly free, 10 and under. And this is an all-inclusive package. There's no add-ons aside from tax. And it, like you guys saw, you got the adventure, you got the flight. We do the champagne and the toast afterwards. And then also, I know you guys enjoyed probably the full breakfast as well afterwards.
Yep, we did.
We did.
So it's a one-off cost. We do run specials from time to time. So it's just one of those things. Before you come on holiday, just kind of visit our website and see what the latest activities going on.
Do you have any specials going on right now?
We do have a special going on right now. We've got a Father's Day special, which you can find on our website, and that's $25 off. So that brings it down to only $150 per person, and that still includes everything. Again, children 10 and under fly free with each paying adult. So good opportunity to save some money and still really have an unexpected vacation highlight.
Right.
Yeah, I have to say, you might say sound to yourself, ooh, 150. Let me tell you, it was worth. Absolutely worth that much money, and more. I
agree. This really felt like, well, hopefully it's not a once in a lifetime experience. Hopefully I'll do it again, but it has that kind of feeling. This is a really special thing.
Well, I'm going to have to do it again. I came home to some very angry family members. So.
Well, guys, if you're interested in going on a balloon ride, I can help you out with that in the future.
Well, thank you, Jason.
I know somebody. I know people.
I think we're going to have
Mention the price with the balloon ride, and often as I deal with, because we contract with many different buyers that sell our product, and I do training or dealing with customers. And at first, when you hear that price, you're kind of set back, because you can go to the outside of the Disney parks for maybe $40 for an entire day, go ride golf carts or whatever, go-karts or whatever. But if you many people are interested in doing a balloon ride. Maybe they're not planning on doing it at any point in time soon, but if you are interested, or it's something that's piqued your interest, and you start to do research on balloon rides, most anywhere you go in the world to do a balloon ride, or even in the United States, the prices will start at over $200 per person. Wow. And you can go to any website in the United States and find that. And they don't give the free child ride, and they don't give the free breakfast. Not saying anything bad about them, but there's something, as you all know, with Orlando, you really have to deliver exceptional customer service, yes. Be very friendly, family friendly, and you can't just go out and just let people go on a balloon ride. There has to be an element of entertaining that goes along with that, because when people come to Orlando with Disney and some of the other wonderful parks, that's some of the things they're going to expect, and that's something that we execute daily exceptionally.
Yeah,
absolutely. I felt that this was Disney quality entertainment, product, absolutely. Service, whatever the right word for this is. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, and so I was really, really happy when it was.
It is.
Both Sarah and I were.
We get that all the time. We're very proud, and obviously I'm very excited to work for the company I do. But, if you were to visit like a TripAdvisor and look and see Kissimmee, we're rated by travelers the #1 attraction. And so many times when people come out to see us, they'll have their holiday planned. If they're coming from overseas, they might have 2 weeks. If they're coming from the U.S., they might be here for 4 or 5 days or a week. And the folks that do find the balloon ride with Orlando Balloon Rides and decide to do that, it's kind of something that they thought they would add to their trip. They're going to do the parks and do all these other things. And so many times we have folks come up to us and we love it, and they say, we didn't expect this, but this was one of the best things we did on our vacation. And that's why we really believe it truly is. It's an unexpected vacation highlight.
Mm-hmm. I totally believe that.
The one thing that I have said to everybody, and I haven't stopped talking about it since we did this in March.
Well, thank you for that.
Is, to us, and I know Jennifer and I had this conversation, if you've been to Disney before, even if you haven't been to Disney before, but we deal a lot with repeat guests, a lot of repeat visitors. It is the perfect thing for somebody who thinks that they have been there and done that, because it is so unique and so different. And to literally be flying above and be able to see Epcot looking like the golf ball everybody called, like to see it be that small, you know.
So true. It is so very true. And it's a great point. You know, like you talk about Disney, and you guys made some great comments. Thank you very much. That it's kind of, I guess, what you'd call like a Disney quality type of an experience. I guess that would boil down to the staff, the equipment, and all that. But hot air ballooning, you know, we try to deliver that Disney feel. It was very hands-on, very personal, very professional. But with the one thing that's great about our adventure is it's so random and different. We've got multiple different launch and landing sites. You could literally come out and fly with us every day for 2 weeks straight and never see the same exact flight. I mean, the areas we fly over, we'll fly over ponds. We'll actually come right down on the ponds and be able to see the alligators or whatever, and we'll ever so slightly touch the water and lift back up. And then
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, traditionally people take quite a few photos of that type of an experience.
I'll bet.
And then a lot of days we'll go, it all depends on what kind of wind speed and direction we have, but there's a lot of days that we'll go fly up to on the upwards of 5,000 or 6,000 feet. And a lot of people hear that, just like the price, and like, wow, what's that? And they start thinking about the height and the altitude, and they think, well, I might be afraid. And I'll be honest with both of you guys and your listeners, our number one testimony, aside from this is one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced, the vacation highlights, all these other things we've talked about, number one testimony of people getting off the balloon is they look at us and they say, I was never afraid. There's something about being in these balloons that you just don't have that sensation of height. There's no fear. There's no movement. It's just very surreal and serene.
Well, the takeoff, I have to say, you know, I did not know that I was scared of heights, although when Jennifer announced sort of that we were going to be doing this, suddenly that fear of heights kicked in. I went, we're going to what? In a what? And she was making me crazy through the whole balloon ride, like, you know, hanging out of the basket, taking pictures with the iPhone, and, you know.
She's the man.
I was as far to the interior, like, if I could have been in the, you know, with Damien in the, like, you know, right the center of the balloon, I probably could have done that. But I have to say, the takeoff was so smooth. It was not at all like I expected. You hardly felt like you were rising, and then all of a sudden you look down and you're, you know, 3,000 feet in the air.
I know. I couldn't tell when we left the ground, and then all of a sudden, it's definitely we're not on the ground anymore. Yes.
And that's it. It's you know, it has that adventurous side, does hot air ballooning, but it's something that really anybody can enjoy. The takeoff and the landing is very gradual. Sometimes the landings can be the adventurous part of the experience, as we know, because we don't have landing gear. But it's not like an adrenaline junkie type of an experience, like a skydiving, or it's only for those that really are trying to do something to, you know, get the heart racing. Though it has that some of those elements to it, it doesn't have any of the scary parts or anything like that. It's just, and we get people all the way from 4 years old to we've got a group that comes out from a retirement home, and they're hedging in the hundreds, that, you know, as far as age, almost 100 years old, and they come out and do it. Right. So it's just something that's great for everybody, and we think everybody should try it at least once, and Orlando's the best place to do it.
Well, and I would agree. I think everyone should try it at least once too. And since our listeners are going to Walt Disney World, Orlando Balloon Rides is a good place to try. And for those of you who are interested, it's their website is orlandoballoonrides.com. And do you also have a phone number for those who don't do the web much?
Yes, guys, I do. Our main business line is area code 407-894-5040.
Great, awesome. Thank you so much, Jason.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I can't wait to see you down here again soon.
Great, thank you. Okay, now let's do our Community Corner. This week we have one listener celebrating something, and it's member MMPS 108. Her name is Megan, and she says that her first DVC trip to Old Key West with her extended family, which is her mom, dad, brother, and his family, and her family, and including their foreign exchange student from Brazil, are going to Disney on June 5th, 2011. Ooh, that sounds like a big trip. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Like the Old Key West is perfect for that.
Yeah, exactly. And this week's contest winner is A Harbin88. So if you are listening, A Harbin, please send an email to podcast@passporter.com to claim your gift certificate. And it looks like we have 3 questions from listeners and readers. The first question is from Mad Hatchers. That's a cute name. They write, with our first trip since 2007, planned for August, my husband said to me, "What great thing are you going to plan for us on this trip? We have done the carriage ride through Fort Wilderness, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique with our princess, haircuts at the barbershop, the Halloween and Christmas parties. So, any ideas for something special to add to our trip this year?" What do you think, Sarah?
I think they should do a hot air balloon ride.
Well, that's a great idea. That's funny. And that's funny. I didn't even think of that either. I'm just like, what would that be?
I specifically themed these questions about sort of making more magic at Walt Disney World themes. So I'm into themes this week. So,
well, something that the balloon, it was awesome. It really was.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking is, what about a backstage tour?
Yeah.
Maybe Keys to the Kingdom or the Family Magic Tour might be something that would be really interesting.
That's right. And the new Wild Africa Track Tour, while I still haven't been on it, I keep hearing all these amazing things about it, and I so want to do that. If I had something special and the money, because it's a little pricey to do it, I would do that. That sounds really special. Yeah. All right. Our next question is from Chrislo, who writes that my son, who is age 5, does not want to go to Hoop-de-Doo. He wants to see the acrobats at Cirque du Soleil. So I was looking at tickets. If anyone has gone recently, can you tell me about the seating? Do I need to get front and center seats to have a good view and enjoy the show, or can we do tier 1? When I went, I got the cheapest tickets because I was really unsure about the whole Cirque du Soleil thing. And I recall being sort of in the back and off to the side, and I could see great. So perhaps you can see better at the front and center, but the way that the theater was designed, it looked like it had everything. It had this really interesting, it does, this really interesting sort of fan shape, with the seats in the back being quite a bit high up there. So I think good views are going to be had from almost every seat. Yeah.
The nice thing about a Cirque du Soleil show is it doesn't just take place sort of center stage.
Right.
For most of the show, there are things going on in various different places all over the stage and at various heights and widths. And so there really is no such thing as a bad seat in Cirque du Soleil theater.
The stage kind of comes out into the, it's not like a traditional theater where there's the seats on one half and the stage on the other one, where there's like a kind of a line. It's different. It's like a half circle sort of thing.
In fact, my favorite seats I've seen Cirque du Soleil multiple times at this point. My favorite seats are in the second section up, actually. So not the down front and center, but actually the second section in the center, somewhere sort of midway, because you're high enough that you're not craning your neck when you're seeing some of the aerial, things. And you've got enough elevation that you can really see the stuff that is taking down right at stage level.
Right. Now, I should point out that if I were, say, taking my 6-year-old, Alexander, I would probably, if it were possible, opt for a seat that's easy to get out of, because I just don't know if he would like it. No, I have heard that kids his age do. So
Ryan has seen a few Cirque du Soleil shows.
And is he good with it?
Oh, he goes crazy for it. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
The only difference about a traditional Cirque du Soleil show and the one at Disney is the one at Disney is 90 minutes long and there is no intermission. So that's important to know.
Right, that is good to know. Yeah. Right. All right, and our our last question is from Ann Angel 21. And let's see, they write that they're trying to get some other ideas to surprise my husband for an upcoming trip. I was going to order a birthday cake, but I'm feeling guilty about doing it since I'm doing Weight Watchers, and that would leave most of the cake for him to scarf down, plus the cost of having it made while we aren't going to eat the whole thing. I was thinking of ordering a welcome basket / tote bag from the Walt Disney World florist, but didn't know if anyone has any input on ordering from them before. Is it in the room before we would get there? I have never ordered from them before, but thought it would be nice to have something special and different for this trip. You have some experience with that, don't you, Sarah?
I do. I just this week, actually. I've been on the phone with Disney Florist. I order from them constantly. No company, not Disney Florist or anybody else, can have anything in your room before you
arrive, right?
Because Disney does not assign you a room until you check in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's impossible. However, if you order it for delivery on your check-in day, they'll put it in your room later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I recommend if you're planning on ordering something like that, order it for the day after you check in.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, God forbid, you get there and they give you one room for whatever reason, it doesn't work out, you know.
Right.
You don't want, especially if it's a food item or something that's going to wilt or whatever, you don't want it sort of sitting in the back room waiting for you to, get
really.
Usually if you are going to order something, they do a great job. You can call them on the phone, there's more options than there are on the website. I always recommend calling rather than just ordering online. And consider having it delivered sort of later in the trip. Because the first day you get there, there's a lot of hoopla already.
That's right. There's a lot of cool special things going on. Why not save that for a little later?
Yeah.
That's a good point. And I have heard of people who, like in trip reports, will say, and this was waiting in our room when we got there, but chances are, they may have checked in the morning and gone to the park and come back, and there it was. Just,
right.
No, so it's not that there's something special or something, it's just timing issue then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. So we have a whole little special occasion thing going on here.
Is
that
the
theme this week?
Ding, 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 ding.
Well, which is good, we've got Father's Day coming up, and there's always
graduation time, Father's
Day. That's right.
Birthday next week.
Birthday next week?
Yeah, that's mine.
I was going to say, your birthday's next week. I'm sorry. When's your birthday? I should know this.
No, you shouldn't.
I'm really terrible at dates. I'm sorry. What day is your birthday?
It's not. It's after the next podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I can remember that. So I'll remember to say happy birthday next podcast.
But I'm in a special occasion frame of mind. So.
That's funny. Well, cool. So if you would like to hear your question answered on the podcast, email us at podcast@passporter.com or take your chances and post on the boards. Well, cool. So what's going on in our next podcast? This is you and I, right?
It's just the two of us.
Cool. That's always fun. All right. And I have the coupon code for those of you who'd like to use these. The code is good for 25% off the list price of any passport in our store for the next 7 days. And the code is BALLOON. That's BALLOON, all lowercase. You type it during checkout at passporterstore.com to get your discount. And that's our show, folks. Thank you for listening. Join us next week. Sarah and I are going to be talking about who knows what. We usually figure it out a couple days before. Listen to more podcasts.
And if you have any suggestions, if there's anything you want us to do a podcast on, let us know.
That's right. That would be fun.
Shoot us an email, podcast@passporter.com.
That's right. So listen to more podcasts at passporter.com/podcast. Talk to you next week.